Basically, we have already read that the river system of India is divided into two parts. One is the Himalayan river system, another one is the peninsular river system. Now, what is this Himalayan river system? The Himalayan river systems is those river systems where the rivers are generated from the any glaciers of the Himalaya or Himalayan region only, and they flow through the northern part of the country in different states of the northern part of India. Basically, Himalayan rivers, as I told you earlier also, these rivers are the perennial rivers. They are having the water throughout the year. In the same way, we are having the peninsular rivers. These rivers are flowing in the western southern part of the India. They doesn't have the water throughout the year. Now, the differences between the Himalayan river and the peninsular river. The Himalayan rivers are originate from glacier, and the peninsular rivers are originate from the plateau region. The entire catchment area, that means the area it's covered by the river, is very large in case of the Himalayan rivers. The catchment area is small in case of the peninsular rivers. Himalayan river engaged in high erosional activity, because in the Himalayan rivers the amount of the water is very high, so that because this is the reason why the erosional activity is high in this river. In case of the peninsular river, in this river, due to the less force of the water, this river is having low erosion activity. In case of the Himalayan river, these rivers are useful for irrigation. That means people are getting the water for their agricultural purpose from this river only. And the peninsular rivers are the non-perennial rivers. That means this river doesn't have the water throughout the year. So that's why they are not very much useful for the irrigation purpose. Himalayan rivers are the perennial rivers. I told already all of you that perennial river means the water having the water throughout the year. And non-perennial river, that doesn't have the water throughout the year. So peninsular rivers are the non-perennial one. In case of the Himalayan river, Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra are all the Himalayan rivers example. Narmada and Tapi is the example of the peninsular river. You can say about Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, etc. In Himalayan river, more tributaries are there. In peninsular river, the less tributaries are there. Himalayan river having the longer courses and the peninsular river having the shorter courses. So Himalayan rivers are the long and the peninsular rivers are the short. So this is all the differences between the Himalayan river and the peninsular river. The differences you all need to prepare very nicely, that discuss the difference between the Himalayan river and the peninsular river. Okay. Now the next topic that we will start, that is about the Himalayan rivers. These are the perennial rivers. They flow throughout the year. There are three major river systems are present in Himalayan river. That is the Indus river system. Second one is Ganga river system, and the third one is Brahmaputra river system. These are the main three rivers which are flowing from Himalayan region, or these all are the known as the Himalayan rivers: Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus river system. Now, in case of this three river system, the Indus and the Brahmaputra river originate from the north of the Himalaya, and they cut the Himalayan mountain region and they make the gorges. What is this gorge? Gorge means when the river is flowing from a mountain area, it cuts the mountain area, it makes the deep valleys in the mountain, and that is called the gorge. Himalayan river performs intensive erosional activities because in this area the high amount of the force of the water is present. Due to that force of the water only, they did the huge amount of the erosional activity. They cut the mountain, they carry huge amount of the sand, silt, different kind of the material from the upper course of the river only. Today our topic of discussion is Indus river system. Now, what is this Indus river system? Indus and its tributaries are together called Indus river system. Indus River, it's flowing from two countries. One is India and another one is Pakistan. In case of the Indus River, major part of the Indus River is there in Pakistan only. Only 1/3 part is located in India. Now, Indus River rises in Tibet near Mansarovar Lake. It enters in India from the west through the Ladakh area, and then it has divided into, like, it forms the gorges over there in Ladakh area. There are so many tributaries are present of the Indus River. Already I told you the meaning of the tributary, when small streams are joining the main streams. Now Jaskar, Nubra, Shyok, then Hunza, these all are the famous tributaries of river Indus. The Indus flow, and these all tributaries meet the Indus River in Kashmir region. Now, in case of the Indus River, Indus flow through Baltistan and Gilgit and emerge from the mountain at Attock. The different rivers like Satluj, Beas, Jhelum, Ravi, Chenab, these all join the Indus River in Pakistan. So these all are also the name of the tributary of the Indus River, like the Satluj, then Beas, then Jhelum, then Chenab and the Ravi. These five are the famous tributary of the Indus River. Indus River is famous for these five tributaries only, and this tributary join the Indus River or join together near the Mithankot of the Pakistan. Now, in case of the Indus River, after joining these five streams nearby the Pakistan, Indus flows southward and it reaches the Arabian Sea in the eastern part of the Karachi. Indus is one of the longest river of our country, when the total length of the river is 2,900 kilometers. Indus River, basically, if you will see the entire river, Indus River, it started from Tibet near Mansarovar Lake. Chenab, Satluj, Jhelum River, Beas are the important tributaries of the Indus River. In case of the Indus River, there are so many countries from where the Indus River is flowing, or there are so many states from where the Indus River is flowing. There is a water treaty about the Indus River. According to the Indus Water Treaty, that is known as, actually the water treaty is known as Indus Water Treaty. According to the Indus Water Treaty, India can use only the 20% of the total water carried by Indus River system. This water is used by Punjab, Haryana, some parts of the Rajasthan, the southern and the western part of the Rajasthan, for irrigation purpose only. That is the Indus Water Treaty. Short question can come, what is Indus Water Treaty? So Indus Water Treaty was signed in 1960. According to the regulation of the Indus Water Treaty, India can use only the 20% water carried by the Indus water system, and the water used for the irrigation Punjab, Haryana, southern and western part of the Rajasthan. Now, in case of the Indus River, you can see this map, so you will understand this all are the five tributaries of the Indus River: the Jhelum, Chenab, Beas, Ravi and Satluj. In your book also the map is there. Indus River starts from Tibetan part, then it enters into India in Ladakh area. After that it enters into Pakistan, where Indus met with Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj and Beas, and finally it moves towards the southern part and ultimately it meets with the Arabian Sea. This is the total life cycle of the Indus River, and the famous water treaty is there in the Indus River, that is known as the Indus Water Treaty. Now you see the Indus River system. This is the starting point of the Indus River system, and this is China or Tibet. So Indus River starts from China and Tibet, then it flows towards the western side. It enters in India. It enters in India by the place that is known as Ladakh, and the starting point of the Indus, it is nearby the lake Mansarovar. Now, in case of the Ladakh area, because now Ladakh is a union territory, so you will write that Ladakh only it enters in India. You will not write Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. You will write from Ladakh it enters in India. It forms some picturesque gorges. In this place, Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir, Indus River forms the gorges by cutting down the riverbed only. In this part only, the several tributaries join the Indus River like Nubra, Hunza, Shyok, Hunza and all. Now the Indus River is flowing towards western direction. It enters into Pakistan. When Indus River is flowing from Pakistan, you can see Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Vyas, then Satluj. These all rivers join the Indus River. So these all are the tributaries, 5 famous tributaries of the Indus. Now all the tributaries together, the Indus rivers, now they are moving toward, like moving within the Pakistan, and it is going southward direction only. While it is going to the southern direction, it moves or it meets with the Arabian Sea. You can see this is the portion of the Arabian Sea, and this is the southern part of the Karachi. The total length of the Indus River is 2,900 kilometers, but 2,900 kilometers it is not there in India. In case of the India, only 1/3 part of the Indus River is present, and rest of the Indus River is present, or the major part of the Indus River is present in Pakistan only. In case of the Indus River, that's why a treaty was there that who will use what amount of the water of the Indus River, where it was mentioned that, like in the 1960 it was done, and it was mentioned that India can use only 20% water of the Indus River for the states of Punjab, then Rajasthan as well as Haryana for the irrigation purpose, and rest of the water will be used by Pakistan. So this is the entire life cycle of the Indus River. Understood?